Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day. At this moment, the sitting is taking place at the departmental government due to the measures issued by government yesterday through Decree 0150.
Good evening, listeners, TV viewers. I say hello from out here from the departmental government because right now a manifestation is going on from people from the commercial area of island that are begging the governor to talk about the new decree that came out yesterday and that make a curfew in the island from 8 p.m. to 5 p.m. Also, this commercial establishment will have to shut up at 7:30 p.m. That's why they are begging the governor the opportunity to themselves to work. We talked to them and this is what they told us.
We are representing the car rental guild, and we are protesting today because we are not in agreement with the decree. They are taking away our right to work, the right to exercise a dignified work within the tourism industry, and we want to protest because we feel aggrieved and affected. The truth is that I do not agree at any time with the closing of the island in this way. The first problem we have is that they have let people enter the island without a COVID test. If we take care by making the test, when these people come to the island, people will be at ease and everything will flow smoothly. However, not by closing things up, because we just recently started reactivating the economy to now shut down. I am from the night guard. We are the first to cease our activities during this pandemic. We are the last to reactivate. The DJs are in need. There are many who have had to sell their equipment. This work is our livelihood.
It is important to mention actually that people who is out here is begging the governor Eric Hawkins to come out of the office to get to agreement with them and talk about this new law that came out yesterday and that start implemented in the entire department. It is important to mention too that right here people is also supporting the national strike that is going on right now about the tax reform. So here is a lot of people who is fighting for their rights. This is all the information that we report from here from the town of the island. We will continue seeing the development of this news and see to any conclusion that they get. Continue.
Taking into account this new curfew measure and also the closure of some commercial establishments at 7:30 at night, we went out to talk to different tourists who are visiting the island to find out what their perception is of this measure that also restricts their circulation on the island.
Nightlife at the level of tourism is needed. For one did not come to lock oneself in a room, so it would be good that the measure be extended to later.
Esta medida me parece.
I think this is a good measure to bring everything back to normality, God willing.
Pues en parte estoy de acuerdo.
In part, I agree, because at this moment we are living a tremendous national conflict. But still, the people here have good behavior, so I think they should leave it until 1 or 2 in the morning.
Pues es cuestión de cultura de las personas.
I think it is a matter of people and the culture of the people to take care of themselves, but not to close, because when people want to go to buy something, everything is closed and they have to return because the curfew starts too early. I think it should be a little bit later because it limits a lot the people on the island.
Let's remember that with this new decree, both tourists and residents will have to abide by a curfew that starts at 8 o'clock at night and will last until next day at 5 in the morning. Also, commercial establishments must provide their service until 7:30 at night, and everyone must follow all the biosecurity controls.
And a flight loaded with humanitarian aid for the population of the islands arrived in the morning hours to the archipelago.
Through a flight of the Colombian Air Force, 9 tons of materials for the reconstruction arrived to the archipelago, as well as 10 tons of food that will be distributed to the most vulnerable families of the island. The commander of the Caribbean Air Force gave an assessment to the transfer.
Transportamos 9 toneladas de diversos materiales.
We've transported 9 tons of various materials focused on the reconstruction of housing in all Providence, so fundamental and necessary that we know people need.
Hemos articulado un esfuerzo desde Bogotá.
We have done an effort from Bogotá to transport 10 tons of contribution from the World Food Bank to ensure food for these most vulnerable families, that despite all that we have advanced in this process, we must continue working to ensure their food.
The director of the food bank of the department, Father Marco Tulio Mejia, indicated that these 10 tons of food will be distributed among the different religious temples so that they reach the community.
Desde el Banco Alimentos Breadfruit de San Andrés.
From the Breadfruit Food Bank of San Andres, we have our Catholic churches, but also the other churches of different denominations that are already in charge of distributing to the most vulnerable families, to the most needy families at this moment. They must have the following parameters: that they do not receive any subsidy or help from any other entity or from the government, that they are really vulnerable and needy families.
Father Marco Tulio Mejia indicated that the deliveries will be made during the course of the week.
And residents in St. Louis are concerned about some surface water drainage system on the road that are damaged and clogged, as they could cause serious accidents. Citizens ask the competent authorities to take action in this matter. Sylvette Mitchell with more information.
Hello, Lisa. Viewers, greetings from here, the section of St. Louis, specifically in the Freetown section, where the inhabitants of this sector they talk about the drain bars. You can see here that in a bad condition. This is a drain bar that the government put here to let out the water when the rain come and this place get flood. They say that more than 1 year this they saw, and this can cause, and even accident have already caused here. Thank God I never something great, but a truck turn over right in at this space right here. So Purificación Chica, she the one inhabitant of this section, she talk about this.
The last one was serious. That same day, there were 2 accidents. In the morning, one of those same big trucks that transport sand, and in the afternoon, the one with the water passed by. I feel that this is due to negligence because this has been there for a long time and catastrophic events have already happened. The entities in charge are not concerned about doing something about it. That's a drain that they made because when it rains, it floods the area. Therefore, they made that drain so that the water can go out. But most of the time, it keeps clogged.
Listen, this is not only the drain bar that affect the inhabitants, also some sewerage cover through the whole St. Louis route affect the people that live around it because they are worried because they're in the road. So the invitation is that all the entities, the secretariats from the government to take action in this issue. This is Sylvette Mitchell Archibald for Teleislas News.
And regarding the National Human Rights Action Plan that took place yesterday, these were some of the conclusions given by the country's Presidential Advisor of Human Rights.
The Presidential Advisor for Human Rights, Nancy Patricia Gutierrez, made reference to the fact that for the benefit of the racial community and in favor of reconstruction, the different racial authorities and organizations must work together with the government. This is what she said.
We have come today from the government, headed by President Iván Duque, to think about what additional actions we have to do together as national government, territorial government, social leaders, racial authorities, political and religious organizations, so that we can rebuild our archipelago.
She also added that the island requires special focus and that we must start from human rights for the benefit of the island people.
Because of the informality of the Colombian people, it also happens in the archipelago that it is over 60%. The economic effects are much more drastic. In addition, there are a series of circumstances of access to economic, social, cultural, and environmental rights that require a special focus. We could do nothing about the reconstruction of Colombia if we do not start from human rights as the fundamental axis of this reconstruction and reactivation.
Hello, here are the best sports of the islands. The Sub-14 and Sub-18 selections are preparing for the upcoming trip to Miami, Florida. Coaches Germán Paredes and Ricardo Davis continue their training sessions to form talent players with fundamentals for the next presentation in the United States territory. These were the words of Ricardo Davis.
We're preparing some young guys to go to Miami in July. And in this crowd of guys, we have some very good talent. We have Axel Fekir, we have Alan Navarro, and we have Castro. Castro is a guy from Providence. He's a shortstop. Alan Navarro is catcher, and Axel is third base. We have a different class of things that we do in practice. We bat, we field, we hit out field, we bunt the ball. We make a lot of physical condition, because if they don't have condition, they can't hold up on the field, you know. So that is the class of thing we do. Today we was trained from outfield to home base. We want to see if most of these youngsters are going to the States, if we can get a sign for one of them to go, and then that would be very good, because, you know, Jerry have 2 guys up there. And if somebody else from San Andres go, we feel very good.
Open gyms are spaces where the young athletes can better their physical conditions. Some of these young people prefer them because they do not have to pay, and also the air they breathe there is pure and the body is better oxygenated. For others, the atmosphere is pleasant, while others leave stress behind and get away from drugs and problems. This is what Byron J., a young sport lover, said.
Because it's an outdoor gym, it's public and it's free, and not all of us have the ability to afford a gym. Considering that the pandemic hit us so hard, this gym is the only thing we have to entertain ourselves and build our physical body. Sincerely, it is not that this gym is in the best condition, but we are satisfied at the moment with what we have. We would like the gym to be a little bit more modern, and that the government will do its parts to help us. I think that here in the town area we have this one. Maybe there should be others on the hill and in St. Louis, where other young people and also adults who can't come to town, they could make use of one in their different neighborhoods.
Byron J. sends a message to the youth.
The message is to leave laziness behind and get out of your house and exercise. That is what I will say to you.